places that I missed. Some I held, some slipped away. One street over where my memories exist. I wondered what would change, I really couldn't say. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from the one I had today.
Tuned into 1100 WSGI, and this is Lee Marie with One Street Over, filling in for U-Turn Laverne. I'm so glad you all have joined us this morning, and I'm super glad that my guest, Pastor Tom T. Rawls, has also joined us. And so, good morning. Would you like to do an opening prayer for us?
Sure. Okay. Father, we thank you for this day of life. Father, thank you for your mercy and your grace. Thank you for waking us up this morning. Father, thank you for the call on our lives to spread the gospel and to be your ambassadors. Father, we pray you take this hour and have your way and your will with it. Lord, may you be glorified. We thank you again for this station and for the ability to broadcast to our community, not only to our community, but to around the world. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you so much. All right. Well, I wanted to have you in because this Friday is the big day.
Yeah, we got the prayer in the square coming up on Friday. For those who may not be aware, the Governor Bill Lee signed the House resolution passed by the House and the Senate in Tennessee, declaring the entire month of July a season of prayer and fasting and repentance in the state of Tennessee. And there's about 30 different clauses in there, things that it mentions to address specifically everything from the drug crisis to the number of children in the foster program crisis, the human trafficking crisis, just many things in our state that need our focused prayer. So each of the 95 counties in the state are having their own observance of the Pray for Tennessee campaign. And Friday will be the Robertson County observance, and we'll do it at 8 o'clock Friday morning in front of the Robertson County Courthouse on the front steps of the Robertson County Courthouse. Should last 45 minutes to 50 minutes, somewhere in that range. It will definitely be over by 9 o'clock. So if you got something else to do that morning, come on out and be with us. It won't last very long. If you're not able to attend in person, please be praying with us during that hour, between the 8 and 9 o'clock hour, this Friday morning, the 18th, day after tomorrow, right?
That's right.
The Robertson County Courthouse. Jason Royalty from South Haven and Deborah Grant are coming over to do some music for us.
Oh, great. I loved hearing them last time. They were awesome.
They did a great job. Great job. And several of our local pastors and local elected officials will be there as well. The mayor of the city, the mayor of the county, Pastor Arlen Smith from Promise Life Church.
Purpose Life?
Mm-hmm. Purpose Life Church, yeah. Sorry about that. Pastor Robert Gardner from City of Faith is going to be there with us. And Pastor Eliu Maldonado of the Ebenezer Iglesia.
Oh, very
north
cool.
Side of Springfield.
All right.
He's going to come be with us and pray in Spanish.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, that's cool.
We're trying to involve a good cross-section of our community. I think we're going to have a good turnout. So y'all pray the weather will be good. Mm-hmm. It's going to be hot and steamy, but that's okay. Just pray the Lord will give us a period of no rain from like 7 till 9:30.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, God likes specific prayers, so let's all do that. We'll pray for excellent weather between 7 and 9:30.
Yeah, there you go. So we're excited about it. And last year, as you know, you were hoping and praying and asking the Lord to have enough people to circle the courthouse and pray all the way around the courthouse. And you stepped off that it'd take 300 people. And we had enough people to show up to do it. So we're hoping to do that again this year. I believe we'll have a good turnout and maybe more than that this year. Who knows? because it kind of grows every year. Last year was the first year, I believe, that we did that.
It was.
And so come out and be with us Friday morning, 8 o'clock, Robertson County Courthouse.
Excellent. And then those for that don't know or haven't heard about Pray for TN, it's something that all 95 counties in the state of Tennessee all have a day. So if you're listening from another county within Tennessee, go ahead and look at that map off of prayfortn.us. It will show you what day your county is meeting, but of course you're always welcome to go to other counties. And I know last year I ran into some people that had gone to multiple counties.
Mm-hmm.
So, so it's very, very cool that that many people are coming together. So, super excited. So again, it is this Friday, the 18th of July, and it's on the historic stairs of the courthouse there in downtown in the square. And if the weather does suddenly become odd, you're welcome to use inside Crossroads Bookstore. You go down about 7 steps, and in the back is that big room. And so you can fit as many people in there as you can. We actually, Monday night was the first night. Now that I'm renting it, we had a dinner down there for 50 people. And so now I know that 50 people fit comfortably for dinner.
Okay.
But that was,
tables and everything.
right, that was with tables. So that was, six dining tables, 2 buffet tables, a drink table. So without any of the tables, I think that, we could fit a lot more because it'll be just standing,
It would just be standing. We cram in there, yeah.
Yeah. And we do have chairs. So if there are some people that, need to sit or whatever. And same thing too, you can always pull out chairs. If there's some people that need them outside, I'll leave that open so that you can, get to the chairs as well.
Okay.
So, so yes, I'm super excited for that. I mean, it's just always so, prayer changes things, guys. And that's the number one thing that we're supposed to be doing, especially without ceasing. And
Yes.
so many of us forget about that. I interviewed, I don't know if you caught that interview with Drew Belcher. That
I did. I caught
did
like
you?
most of it. Most of it. Yeah.
That is so exciting that we have,
is
young, dedicated Christians like that in our county, in the entertainment industry, and I was just so impressed with this young man because when I asked him, well, what can the community do? What do you need from this? And the first thing he didn't even think, he just said, prayer.
Yeah.
First and foremost, prayer.
Mm-hmm.
He's already raised half of the 50,000 that they need for the film, but, prayer. And so I was just like, yes. And because we all have to remember that, because how many of us are guilty of, well, all you can do is pray now. So many of us say that.
Pray first. Don't wait for the last.
Yes.
Use it as a last resort.
And so
Ace in a hole. We need to pull it out and use it.
exactly.
Frequently. Yeah, frequently.
And that's definitely on one of those lists of I always want to do something about, Bible verses that we don't believe, because, either you believe God created everything and is, in charge, or you don't,
Right.
and if you do believe, then why aren't you going to him first on every decision that you need to make, right?
That's right. And the scripture says, "Pray without ceasing."
Mm-hmm. Right.
Which I one morning I was talking about praying, throughout the day. I said you can pray while you're getting ready to go to work. You can pray in the shower. You can pray while you're driving to work. And my sister said, "Not with your eyes closed." I said you can keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes open. But being in the spirit of prayer all day, that's having an ongoing conversation with the Lord throughout the day.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to stop and bow your head every time. Just throughout the day, just ignite. He said, "In all things, acknowledge me, and I'll direct your path." We act like He's not there.
Exactly.
Just acknowledge Him. Talk to Him. And just talk to Him throughout the day, and He'll help you. He'll guide you. He wants to do that.
And act like he's sitting in the in the passenger seat.
Yeah.
Because that's what I do sometimes, especially if I've got some, really big project happening that day. When I get in, I'll even look over to the seat. I'm like, okay, are you excited? Because I am. All right,
Yeah.
guide me, direct me.
I've done that before too, when I was really maybe really dealing with something. I'd pat the seat, say, "Lord, just come sit right here." And just I need to talk to you.
That's right.
Of course, He's there all the time. But yeah, we got to pray. Now, you mentioned Drew's project. It's a film, right? He's doing a full feature.
Yes, he
feature
is. Well, it's a short film.
Short film.
But it's looking very
Professional
good.
Production. He's got all
Right, professional.
bringing in truckloads of professional equipment.
Right. They're coming in from Liberty University and bringing all the equipment, all the big stuff. And
Done right here in our county. So
it
need
is.
some extras. I heard him say.
Right, they'll
as it
need
goes
some
along.
background actors. That's what they're called now, is background actors. They used to call them extras, but as of about 10 years ago, they started saying, let's call them background actors because they're really just not extra sounds like you can do without them. But you really
Make it feel
can't.
better if you say background.
Yes, yes. And
I've
that's,
done some background acting in the past.
I'm sure you have.
Standing in the crowd, walking by, something like that. But, it's gonna
It's
be
fun.
It's gonna be a fun
Yeah.
fun thing to do if you haven't done that before. Maybe a time you could even bring your kids out for some groups. I don't know what all they're going to need, but it'd be a good time to kind of watch the process and learn what they're
Right.
doing.
And some of your children, or even adults, maybe you, will get inspired to do something. Maybe some of you have a story on your heart that you want to make it into a book or a movie. Come out and watch this. So I think the filming is going to be in September, because I know right now he's working on the Chosen set. There's another actual another student from Robertson County that's working on the Chosen set right now, which is pretty cool.
that's
Yay, Robertson County. But yes, um, when he gets back, and then in September they're going to be filming. So stay tuned for Drew Felcher. Breakout is the title of the short film, and they are going to be doing some fundraising for it. So be on the lookout for that as well. But we'll try to post some stuff along the way so people can be involved with that. So thanks for reminding me about that. Very cool.
Great.
And just to remind you guys, today is Wednesday. So that means that Brother T and I will be here for the first part. And then if the city sends a rep, then they will be here for the second half. I know that the city of Springfield had their alderman meeting last night, as far as I know. And so usually they come in after that. But as you know, U-Turn Laverne is not here. So if they tried to text her in Mexico, she wouldn't have gotten that message.
Right.
So if they don't, then we'll just talk, because I know we always have a gazillion things that we could talk about anyway. And then after that, guys, stay tuned for the Go Show, because every Wednesday I tell you lots of places to go. And I'm also going to have Deborah Grant come in. I haven't had her in a while because she's been just so swamped
Yes, she has.
that I haven't been able to get her in. And I just need to, because she always inspires me to, take really good care of myself. And so I need to hear her, because she just reminds me about hydration and, my omegas and all these things that I need to be doing, because it's true. If I stop taking my omegas, boy, I feel it and I see it, because of the inflammation. So I love having Deborah on. And so she'll be in at about 8:15 today. So I'll go over some calendar stuff from 8 to 8:15, and then I'll have Deborah Grant on. And as you guys know, she is over at UPS, one of our favorite sponsors. UPS is now sponsoring both One Street Over and the Go Show, as well as, so many people in our so many great things that I know.
They've really been a big help to us on this prayer rally.
Oh, have they been to? Okay, great.
With the flyers and different things we needed printing.
Nice.
And they're so good.
Do you have extra flyers?
No, but we could get some more.
Okay, because I was just thinking that, tomorrow morning is Good Morning Robertson County.
Yeah, I saw your text.
So I think we should probably bring some
Yeah,
for
we could
that.
Probably print out some more.
That would be good. Okay. All right. I didn't know when I sent the text. I send scheduled text messages.
do
So
you?
that's why sometimes I act like you'll be like, Lee Marie, you just sent that 10 minutes ago. Well, I don't remember. If I wake up at 3 or 4 in the morning, I don't want to send a text, because people will be like, I'm sleeping, if they don't turn their phone off or whatever. So I send scheduled messages that hit 7:15 or
Okay.
8:15 or 9:15. So that's why sometimes,
That makes sense.
yeah.
Sometimes we'll be like, I just told you I'm driving in Nashville traffic. You sent me another text 10 minutes later.
Yes, yes. And sometimes I'll, schedule a whole bunch, at 2 or 3 in the morning, and I'll, for the rest of the day. So yeah, and then some people get several. But anyway, that's my mode, because if I don't send it right then, it's gone.
You should be sleeping, girl, during that time.
Well, I get plenty of sleep. I really do. But anyways, okay, so we hope that everybody will come out, and we hope that you all have announced it at your church. I was very happy when I went into Lights Chapel this Sunday and opened up the bulletin, because there it was. They had printed Pray for Tian and all the details in their bulletin, so I hope a lot of churches did the same. And, tell your people, because it's important to get together corporately and do this.
Yes, it is.
Okay. And then also just a reminder, last year was the first Pray for TN. And what we decided after that is that we would get together to pray every first Saturday of every month from 11:30 to 12. And we have done that. We have not missed one month since July of last year. And so you can put that on your calendar as well. Of course, it's a smaller group, but it's a loyal group and they've been dedicated. So if you want to join that at any time, again, that's the first Saturday of every month, 11:30 to 12 noon. And we've done it on the courthouse steps when the weather's been perfect. Otherwise, we've been going inside the well or Crossroads. And for those of you that don't know, Well in the Square, that is where I'm renting now. It's has one small office next to Crossroads, but then also the large ballroom inside Crossroads.
That's a nice space there.
Isn't it?
Nice space.
I love it. And I love being a part. I feel like I'm more a part of the city now because even though I have a Springfield address, we live in the country. And so we're not under any city stuff. But now I am because I am a business owner in the city.
That's right.
So, and that was nothing that I planned on doing. I wasn't looking for a space, but God. That's how you know a lot of the times when it is God is when it's like some idea that you did not have.
Right.
And it just like happens. Then you're like, oh, okay. Because so many times we have our little checklists and we have like, I'm going to do this and that to get to this point, but God.
Yeah.
He oftentimes has different plans, like radio, right?
Right. Right.
We had no plan of being in radio.
We have our plans, but God directs our steps.
That's right. So be open to whatever he has. And so I don't know if you saw, I'm going to just say this real quick here. Did you see the flyer that I posted yesterday about some of the upcoming classes at Well?
I saw that. I like that.
Yes. Thank you, Terry Morris, for making that beautiful flyer for us.
It's a complete wellness package.
Yeah, there it is right there, the pink and red. I don't know if you guys can see it, but if you go to Well in the Square Facebook page, you can find it. Or if you go to Lee Marie, you can find it. I'm going to say these real quick because they're very uplifting. All these ladies are Christians that teach these classes, and it's good for you. Cindy Norton, we had her on yesterday. I don't know if you caught any of her show, but her class is only $5. And she supplies you with the bands. And it's all ages all ages. It's all levels because you just change whatever band, the other day because I had carried a lot of chairs and did a lot of gardening, I was so sore that I went down to the weakest band for that day. And so it was great. And then, when I'm feeling good and I've been exercising, then I can go up to a higher band. But anyways, she's teaching her total body fitness every Tuesday and Thursday morning from 10 to 10:30. And also, she is going to be doing Tuesday nights, 6:15 to 6:45. So that is Cindy Norton, and a lot of you guys know her and Johnny from Journey to Recovery over at South Haven.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They lead up that, which is a very, very successful recovery program. And then, so that is Cindy's class. Of course, I teach right after her on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 11 to 11:30. I do line dance for fun, fitness, and friends. So if you need any of those three, come on out. But chances are you're going to get all three.
Right.
And so that's 11 to 11:30 on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then Tuesday nights, 5:30 to 6. And both Cindy and I are doing a first class free. So if people just want to try it out, but most of the time they end up staying. So then we have a new class that Carla is going to be teaching. And Carla has decades of experience sewing and also teaching. And so this is fun because a lot of us have stuff in the corner of our bedroom or something, a stack of like pants that need to be hemmed. Well, you don't because, you're really tall, but Stephen and I do.
That's something that could be altered, though.
Okay, altered. You have something that can be altered. Okay. So this is a great deal because, most of the time when you go to get something altered, the price to alter it is usually more than the price you paid for it. Have you ever had that happen?
Yes. I've had that happen at the dry cleaners.
Yes, the
Get
dry
your shirt
cleaners too.
cleaned. I'm like, I only gave $3 at Goodwill, and I got to pay $5 to get it pressed.
So this class is going to be fun because you can bring stuff that you want altered or repurposed. Because she said, hey, sometimes you get something at Cope or whatever, and because you like it, but it's obviously they don't have multiple sizes. You can repurpose it. Like she even said she's taken 2 dresses and cut them up into make one. I'm like, whoa, yeah. So she's real talented. So she's going to be doing this class. It's going to be the last Monday of July. It's going to be a fun Monday because she is doing this from 10 to 11:30. So you can bring whatever you want. She's not going. There's no guarantee that she's going to get to everything, but she'll use some as examples, and then everybody will get at least one thing. altered, as long as it's not like a wedding gown or something. Although she has made wedding gowns, but we don't have time to do that in an hour and a half. Anyways, it's $20 if you pre-register by July 24th, and $25 if you register after. So even if you get a couple things altered, there's the price right there.
There you go. It'll be worth it.
And I heard she has like 7 sewing machines, but we're not going to need to bring all of those at that point because some of us don't even know how to use one.
Would that be an ongoing class? She's going to do that week?
Well, she's going to do some other sewing class. Like we want to do one that's called mending, and just for men, so that men can like learn. And it could be like a father-son thing, or uncle, nephew, bring, and so they can learn like how to sew a button on, how to iron a shirt, different things like that. So she wants to do one just for guys, but she wants to do a series of sewing classes.
Cool.
Yeah, so we're going to have her on later this week or month. I don't know. I just scheduled all 14, classes. Schedules for the show at once. So I know she's coming in to talk about the class, but she also does a lot of other art types of classes, like book arts and different fun things. So anyways, that same day, Monday the 28th, some people that I think, are going to be here. Shannon Baumgartner.
Yes.
Is doing Power of Your Words. And I love running into Shannon. I ran into her yesterday because she always reminds me, anytime I say something, she's like, you're speaking that into existence. Like, So, she just reminds us that, God spoke so much into existence, the world, So our words are powerful, and we are made in his image, and we have to be very careful about what we're putting out there, because the universe is listening. Heaven's listening, right? The enemies are listening. So Power of Your Words is going to be on Monday, July 28th at 7 p.m. No, I'm sorry, 6 p.m. It's going to be 6 to 7. And so she wrote, let's see here. Do you need some things to change in your life? You've been given an incredible tool, your words. Come learn how your words affect your life and how you can change your world by the power of your words. So I'm really excited about that. And again, this one is going to be free if you register by July 24th.
Good.
Yeah. And then after that, it is $10. Because, they want to do some handouts and different things and be prepared. So get signed up for that. And then the last class to tell you about, your mental health, how to take care of it. And this is going to be with Rhonda Rastelli. And this is 7 to 8 p.m. that same day. So I know a lot of people are going to come and go to both of those. Mm-hmm. So it says, learn what you can do right now to improve your mental and emotional well-being. Taught by Rhonda Rastelli, APRN, PMHNP-BC. So all of you in the medical field know what all that means. But there's a number to RSVP for that. And again, that is also free if you register by July 24th, $10 if you register after that. So Well in the Square has a lot of fun classes coming. If you have suggestions for that, you can always private message me on Messenger. But it is at 600 South Main Street, which is the same address for Crossroads Christian Bookstore. And hopefully we will see you in one of those. These are just like feel good, self-care, because we just want to cover all bases, physical, mental, spiritual. And so I'm excited. I really am. And that's what God had wanted for Well in the Square when he first told me. And I was like, well, I can only just like teach line dancing right now. So that's all I'm going to do. And he's like, okay, fine, just do that. But would you, catch up with me? So I'm catching up with you, Lord.
We got the increase.
Yeah.
The increase. Yeah. You just do what you do and he'll bring the increase. Yeah.
So that's what we're doing. But yeah, it was fun on Monday night because that was the first time we had an event down in the big room. And so because I didn't know how many people would fit for dinner. And I was expecting 42 people, and we had 47. So it was pretty good. Good estimate there. And there's videos online on my Facebook page because it went live a couple times. Because actually, even though it was a nonprofit and a nonpartisan group, some candidates showed up who are running for Mark Green's seat. And so we let them introduce themselves, to people. So that was interesting because it was like, got to hear from 3 people that we didn't know, just kind of hear their little backstory. So it was kind of fun. Yeah. It felt special. But, we don't talk about, particular candidates on this show, but just, kind of putting that out there that it was a pretty fun evening. And so that was the Tennessee Firearms Association. And that was a Robertson County chapter that we have. And normally we meet at the American Legion in Greenbrier, which is where we'll hopefully meet again, continuing in August. They had some renovations that were happening, and so we had to find a temporary spot. But if you're interested, TennesseeFirearmsAssociation.com, they do have General Michael Flynn coming out.
Oh, wow.
I know, to their September 6th. It's the first Saturday in September. That's their annual meeting that they have. And so that's super fun because all the chapters go, and they have a live auction and silent auction and all that. So if you want to donate anything to that, I'm sure I will donate some line dance classes.
Right.
But anyways, so it's 7:25. Brother T, you got some concerts coming to town, don't you?
Yes, and we had a great concert last Thursday with the Mark Trammell Quartet. They're just so awesome.
I wanted to be there.
No, you did. You didn't get to, but
Ah,
you missed a good one, But
they're always awesome.
they really did a great job, and they were having some bus problems when they got there
Oh,
with their air conditioner of all things.
oh my.
When I got there, they were out there with grease all over them and
Oh.
things out working on them. I said, "What are you doing?" They said, "We've got to get this air conditioner fixed." I said, "Yeah, I guess so this time of year." But they got cleaned up and came on in and did a good concert, a good worship service really, and so that was great. The next one we have is on Sunday night, August the 10th.
Okay.
Sunday night, so it'll start at 6:00, August the 10th, and that's Poet Voices, which they used to go by the name Phil Cross and Poet Voices.
Okay.
Phil Cross is one of the most prolific songwriters in all of Christian music. He's written a lot of songs. You hear a lot of his songs on the radio. You'd never know that he was one of the writers. But amongst them, Champion of Love, he wrote that song. He wrote When I Get Carried Away. I'm not going to go on, but anyway, they have a great quartet now. Phil has put together a great quartet. And I know the guys, they're solid, theologically. They're the real deal, and they do a great job singing, and they're going to bring a great program at Ebenezer Baptist Church Sunday night, August the 10th at 6:00. And Ebenezer is located at 6028 Ebenezer Road in Greenbrier, just a block off Highway 41. Real easy to find. There's plenty of parking at the church. You can even park around back, and there's elevator access from that level up to the sanctuary. It's a great place to have a concert, and we're going to do that Sunday night, August the 10th, with Poet Voices. So come out and be with us. And September the 11th, Tribute Quartet will be there. That'll be a Thursday night at 7.
September 11th.
But the Poet Voices will be on a Sunday night, August 10th at 6:00. And we will ask for a $10 donation at the door to make sure that they get enough to cover what they need. And then we want to take up a love offering for them as well. And some people ask, why do you do it that way? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? If we charge $20 or $25 at the door, there's some people that wouldn't come. Because they say, no, I can't pay that much. So we ask for $10 at the door, and we've had folks that can't do $10 at the door. That's okay. Come on anyway. If you can do $5, if you just can't do anything, just come on anyway. But by doing 10 at the door plus an offering, we're able to get the total up to about $20 per person, which is what it needs to be. It works out good that way. Yeah. So come and be with us.
Awesome. Very cool. Yeah, I was really sad that I missed Mark Trammell because that's where I saw them last time, and I was like, that was one of my favorite ones ever. But I teach right now because Shalom does adult classes during the summer. And so they have me teaching some swing class. So I have 2 more Thursdays, this Thursday, 7 to 8, and also next Thursday, 7 to 8. And so there was no way I could go. But I do want to invite you guys, if you want to come learn some swing dancing, we're doing East Coast and Lindy Hop right at Shalom Dance Studio in the square. And that's just, I don't know, it's walking distance from the well. It's not too far, same side of the street and everything. So, Brother T, is there anything else that you want to cover?
I'll just remind everybody to come out Friday morning to the steps of the Robertson County Courthouse at 8 o'clock for the Pray for Tennessee campaign, Robertson County edition.
Awesome.
Come and be with us.
Very good. Yes, and tell a friend.
Definitely.
Yeah, and you have the invite on Facebook so that they can share that.
Yes, you can look for it on Facebook. You can go to my page, which is Tom, T-H-O-M-T, Rawls on Facebook. You can also look at the Organic Community Church page on Facebook. It's on there as well.
Ah, okay.
Arlen Smith has shared it on his Purpose Life Church page, I believe, too. Arlen's helping me put this together.
Oh, okay.
He's done a beautiful job.
Oh, very nice.
So, yeah, share that on Facebook and help us get the word out. there's an
Excellent.
event out there that you can
Okay.
sponsor.
Now you are the pastor of Organic Community Church.
Community
Give
Church
them
in
the information on that, the times and all
We're,
that.
we're located at 2427 Highway 41 South in Greenbrier. We meet on Sunday morning at 10 o'clock, and it's laid back. We meet around tables and chairs, and come on out and be with us.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming in. And I know that you're going to be seeing a lot of people from the community this Friday at Pray for
morning.
TN in Robertson County. Awesome.
All right.
Thank you so much. All right. And as he goes out and we have the city coming in, I'll go ahead and talk about one of our sponsors. One of our long-term sponsors, actually, an original sponsor of One Street Over, and that is Barry and Rebecca Richards from Exit Prime Realty. So, whether you're looking to buy or sell, or you just want to get some advice, they are so awesome. They have lived in Robertson County, I think, for like about 30 years or something. And so they know it really well. And that's one thing that's just priceless. You really need people that know the area. And so the best way to reach them is actually to go to sellwithbecky.com. That is the website, sellwithbecky.com. And that is, Becky is Becky. So give them a call. Make sure you let them know that U-Turn sent you from One Street Over. And for all your real estate needs, there you go. Barry and Rebecca Richards, Exit Prime Realty. All right, well, we're going to have Ryan Martin coming in. He's from the city of Springfield, and they had their alderman meeting last night, so I look forward to getting an update from Ryan. And again, if you missed any part of the show, remember it is on Facebook. It's also on YouTube. And also share the show, because a lot of people still don't know about this show. And so much great information. I know that the city always comes in the day after the alderman meeting, right?
Every time.
Every time. Awesome. Very good. And I'm glad you're here, actually, because I had a question, too, about the, you guys are going to, over at Grace, they're going to have the baptism and the fish fry coming up, aren't they?
That's right. It's coming up. It's coming up next Sunday, the 27th.
27th. Okay.
Yeah, it's a river. We call it the river baptism. It's down at Carrs Creek, and then we'll have a fish fry following that with High Road. High Road.
Oh, that's so exciting.
A lot of fun.
Awesome. And what time do you know what time the baptism starts?
I don't.
Okay.
It's.
I was trying to surf around and find that, but I'll text someone.
I don't know exactly what time. I don't want to say something I'd be wrong.
Yeah,
I just know
yeah.
it's happening. I know I'll be there.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, and that's so great. I mean, because if you guys haven't been to that yet, I highly recommend going out, because you just get so inspired.
It's awesome. It really is. It's really neat. A lot of folks, I think, are signed up to do that, and it'll be it's always a good day.
Mm-hmm. That's right. All right. And it's good that they're having a fish fry, because I know the one time they had ice cream social, and well, in the end of July, ice cream doesn't really hold its shape well.
Not outside very long in July. That's right. That's right.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and put the camera on Ryan. There you go. So you got the whole camera to yourself. All right. So last night you had your big meeting. How did it go?
It went well. We had a fairly routine business meeting last night. As everyone knows, the Board of Mayor and Alderman meets on the third Tuesday of every month at City Hall. And for those that aren't able to attend, we live stream those meetings on YouTube. I think there's a link that's posted to our Facebook page and through our various social media outlets and that sort of thing. I don't even know. Our public affairs coordinator, Zachary Clark, he does a great job of getting that message out. One of the things that, Lee Marie, that we talk about a lot is transparency. We want folks to know what their city government is doing, so we try to make everything available that we can. I mean, our agendas and minutes are on the website. We live stream our meetings. You can sign up for a citizen newsletter, and we'll deliver what we're doing right to your inbox. And so we try to make things. We do things like this. I think Laverne's had. She regularly has Terry Martin from the Parks Department. I think she had her gas director on.
She has Buzzy on too.
Month or so, Buzzy comes on here. Anything we can do to make sure that people know that what we're doing to work for them, because that's at the end of the day, that's what we're doing. We're working for the citizens, and their elected officials and appointed representatives are responsive to that. And so we want to know if what we're doing is what the people want to do. If not, they need to let their elected officials know and let us know that we're not doing what they want us to do, or that we need to continue doing something that we're doing, and we'll keep doing that. So.
Yeah, and that's a good point, because, especially on the socials, you hear, people complaining and blah, blah, blah. How did this happen? Blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I didn't see you at any meetings. They were talking about that. They asked people, anybody in opposition, come up and talk, and it was crickets. So you guys don't be complaining on socials if you're not going and giving your input, right?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't see that stuff. I don't really do Facebook, so I don't see the complaining. But I get a chance to talk to a lot of people, whether I'm at church or at the store or at the rest, eating at the depot or wherever in town. I get to see and talk to a lot of people, and I always ask, and a lot of people have some feedback. I was with some folks over the weekend who raised an issue and said, well, why is it like this? And I said, well, actually, because of taxpayer funding, we have to do X, Y, and Z, and there's accountability, and so it takes a little longer. They're like, oh, well, that makes sense. So sometimes it's a matter of just, people have questions that don't know the answers. Government moves so slow. Government is just, it's designed to be slow. It's well intended, right? Because you want to make sure that there's accountability for every dollar of taxpayer money. But what the side effect of that is that things move a little slower than we'd like for them to move sometimes. But yeah, absolutely.
And I mean, and that comment too, I mean, that's not specific to the city of Springfield. Obviously, it's for the county and it's for, any jurisdiction really, as far as, complaining versus, giving input. But I mean, I know it's hard, you do have to like look at agendas and know what's coming, but, maybe you can designate someone in your circle, and you can just like space it out like, okay, I'll go on the even months or odd months. But, some of your neighborhoods that have issues and they're following things, get together, get organized and follow this stuff and give input the right way, not just complaining on socials.
Sure. And I think one of the misnomers there, and I'm glad you bring that up, because I think we're not responsive necessarily, because again, me, I don't see that. So I don't know if you need to let us know, right? Somebody needs to call and say, hey, we've got this issue over here. What do you think about this? Is there something that can be done? That's the way to, for us to be responsive. We're not friends with everybody on social media and monitor that 24/7 where we can see, oh, there's a complaint over it. So somebody, I just would ask for folks to let us know, because, it's happened, I'm sure, where somebody's posted a situation on, their Facebook page or whatever, and nothing got done because nobody saw it. Right. And so please let us know. Let us know if there's an issue. We'd love to know about that. We can't fix it unless we do know about it. And there's, continuous things that go on that require maintenance and things like that. So we're happy to do that. We just need to know about them to be able to fix them.
Right. And that goes, for all levels of government too. I mean, I know a lot of people, they have a problem and they don't know that, oh, well, that's the county or that's a state or that's federal. And, you guys do have elected officials that are, responsible for, addressing those things. And so, look into your issues, see who really is the correct person to address that to, call up, ask for a meeting or write a letter. And you would be surprised, because I used to work for elected officials for over 20 years. And I know squeaky wheels do get the oil, but a lot of people don't squeak enough, and some people squeak too much. No, just kidding. You know what I mean?
Well, no, it's true. I think elected officials, and I can't speak. I mean, again, people want to talk about and group us in with what goes on in Washington. I have no idea what's going on in Washington.
Is anybody really?
That's a different, but I know that your local officials here, and I can, speak for a lot of them in the city and in the county. They're the folks that you go to church with. They're the folks that you see at the grocery store. They're going to be responsive to you. Hey, at the end of the day, they may disagree, right? And they say, well, I understand that you think that needs to happen. I disagree. My other constituents, a majority of my other constituents feel this way. So that may be the case, and that's just, sometimes the way it works out. But they're going to be responsive. They want to. I mean, I talked to our alderman. I had, even last night at our meeting, before and after the meeting, I had aldermen coming to me with constituent concerns, things that we're following up on today. One of them is a dead tree, right? One of them is high grass somewhere. And so we're let your elected officials know, particularly in the city, they're going to bring those things to the staff, and we're going to, try to look into those things and figure out if we can resolve them, if we have the authority. And that sort of gets into one of the things in
let's go over the agendas.
in the meeting last night is, we approved on second reading an amendment to our sign ordinance. So our sign ordinance previously said that you couldn't have a sign that was 20 feet, over 20 feet high on a building, right? And so we've amended that to be more in line with other jurisdictions. I'm not sure where that originated. It's probably 30 or 40 years old. And we're more in line with other jurisdictions now where we say it just can't be above the roof line, right? That's more attractive and aesthetically pleasing, and that's what some of the folks that were doing the commercial developments wanted. And so that's what they had requested. And our planning commission and our board of mayor and aldermen was responsive. That's another situation. I mean, someone's building a restaurant here and they say, hey, I've got to have my sign higher than 20 feet in the air. And because of where I'm situated, and our planning commission and board of mayor and aldermen was responsive to that request and said, hey, that may have made sense at one point in time, but it doesn't make as much sense now. And I think sometimes that's what we run into. And we've amended a lot of regulations over the last few years because sometimes we can regulate ourselves to death. And sometimes it doesn't even have the intended consequence. Now, why did the regulations originate from the beginning? It's because the citizens wanted that, and so sometimes things get antiquated or outdated and have to be revisited. But that's what Laverne and I've talked about before, is the city government, it's not an adversarial relationship with the people. It shouldn't be. Again, I'm not talking about Washington. I have no idea what happens there, but I'm talking about the city of Springfield. We exist as a city because the citizens decided 200 years ago, 206 years ago now, that they wanted a collective that could improve the quality of life on their behalf. So that's why we have a fire department. That's why we have a police department. That's why we have an electric utility, water, because those things, they said, we want to have our own that's quicker, faster, more responsive to us. And that's why those things exist. If at any point, and I was talking to somebody about this with our budget, because they were talking about our budget. And I said, hey, we could very easily cut the tax rate down. I mean, if you got rid of a service, right, you could, and I'm not advocating for that. I'm just, talking hypothetically. We were talking through how the local government actually works. The Parks Department. Now, we're not getting rid of the Parks Department, but the Parks Department is $2.5 million a year. Well, if you look at what that would cut on your property taxes, that would save you, 10 or 12 cents on the property tax rate, right? And so you could do that for other departments and look at that. But if these are services that the citizens want, and they've told their elected officials that they do, then they have to be paid for, right? And so, but at any point, the citizens can decide we don't want to have parks anymore, or we don't want to have pick a department. We don't want to have a fire department anymore. We don't want to have a police department anymore. And then that tax rate comes down because you don't have to pay for that service anymore. Now, we're not, again, advocating. It's just talking hypothetically about the structure of local government and how local government works, because I don't know where dollars go, again, in Washington, but I know where your dollars go in Springfield. I know exactly where those dollars go and what they go toward.
So I have a question, because, with the age of everything being electronic, and some of that has got to save money. Like back in the day when I first was working, right, you had to take a little, phone message on a little, two-sided thing. And, you had a lot of things that you needed people for. And now there's a lot of forms online. There's a lot of information online. There's so much online. And it seems that some of that should have an effect on some departments' budgets where, and I know working in government for a long time, it's almost impossible to bring a budget down. It's always going up.
We do it all the time.
Okay,
so that's we do it all the time.
Okay, so that's what I wanted to know, how that is affecting some of the budgets of some of the departments.
Yeah, so absolutely. So a lot of times, and I tell our board this, when we have a position that gets vacated for whatever reason, we evaluate the need for that position. Almost now on a crew for water, wastewater, we know we've got to fill that position, right? But we have cut positions. We've cut, and I can't give you a number, Lee Marie, but we have eliminated at the city of Springfield quite a few positions over the last few years. I don't know of a number, but I know of at least a 2 or 3 positions that we've eliminated because, again, things become more efficient. Do you need a body to fill that, right? And can things be consolidated such, because now this person, it used to take them 5 hours to do this, but now it takes them 2, so they have another 3 hours. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We are continuously looking at efficiencies.
Okay,
why?
good.
Because there are other things that do cost more, right? Inflation costs more, so we're trying to fit into a budget. And so if we don't need a position, then that's why I would say that's part of the reason why the city of Springfield hadn't had a tax increase in 13 years until this year.
Well, that's great.
Because we're trying to be efficient.
Right. I was at the library board meeting last Friday, and they were reading something about the budget and how there's a thing that says it can never be less than. It can only be more than each time. And it was written in there so that other, entities didn't take their budget, or, cut their budgets. And I just thought, and Martin Morgan actually brought that up. He said, that's weird that you can never like bring your budget down. Like what, there's things that could do that, like for instance, they got a big donation. Well, the Friends of the Library got a really huge donation recently, so there's certain things, and it's just like, so that's why I was worried. I'm like, well, is that across the board on other departments? But
no, I
I'm
think
glad to know.
if you look at, and again, couldn't quote to you how many and what for, but if you look at our department's budgets, there are years where they're down. I mean, they may be at this level, and then the next year they may be less by $20,000 or $100,000 or something like that. It just, it's what I mean. Again, that's the pledge. If we don't need it, that's why people say, well, once the taxes go up, they'll never go down, or once the water rates go up, they'll never go down. Well, in the city of Springfield, that's not true, because we decreased water rates 2 years ago, and we will decrease sewer rates at some point in time when some of that debt gets paid off from all of the things that have happened over the last 10 years. So that's, I don't know. I can't speak for any other jurisdiction, but I can speak for the city of Springfield. And if we don't need it, we won't take it. And
that's
so
a
we
relief.
And that's the, and the proof is, I think, in the pudding there that, I think it was 2 years ago, we decreased water rates 2%. Why? Because the budget, when we were preparing the budget, there was 2% extra that we didn't need. We were still able to balance the budget and have a small surplus to make sure if emergencies happen throughout the year, but we could decrease water rates. And we did, and we haven't raised them since.
Okay.
So,
well, I know it's not easy, the what you have to do, it's like the shell game, right? And I had, at one point, I wanted to be a city manager, and I got my master's in public administration because that's what I thought I wanted to do.
you decided to get wise and not be a city manager.
Exactly. When I realized how much you have to, it's a lot of math. It's a lot of, you got to cut here, and where's the money, and it's not an easy thing.
I think Springfield's a little more unique, and because we have all of the utilities, and that's what a lot of cities, and I think a lot of people don't realize that about Springfield, especially when I say we have a $140 million budget. They're like, oh my gosh, we've got huge government, huge local government. Not really. I mean, I was telling Laverne last month that the electric utility is over $40 million of that alone. Right? And we're in the electric business because 90 years ago or so, the citizens wanted electricity and wanted it to be provided locally, and no one was providing it locally. So that's the reason we're in these businesses, and the water and wastewater, and other cities just don't have all of those utilities. I think we're one of maybe 6 or 7 cities in the state of Tennessee that are situated like that with the utilities. So it makes it a little more challenging for us. Now, is it helpful from a customer service perspective? Sure, because if you live in the city of Springfield, you're going to get one bill. That one bill is going to have your water, your wastewater, your electricity, and we're fortunate we have lower water rates than out in the county. We have lower electric rates than those. So we don't have lower sewer rates than other places in Middle Tennessee, but we'll hopefully get there soon. But there's a convenience and there's a cost effectiveness to it, and so that's where we are. It's a little bit more unique to be, us because other cities don't have all the utilities, but it's what our citizens want, and we try to make that as efficient as possible for them.
Okay. All right. So I'll get you back on the agenda.
Yeah, we'll get back to we kind of got sidetracked there.
But it's good because it's I never get to interview you. So
yeah, that'll work. So we had one rezoning last night. A property owner had requesting rezoning at the corner of North Brown and Fifth. It's a parcel right there, a house. They requested that to be rezoned to be more in line with what's going on Fifth Avenue on that stretch. We extended our audit contract. I think that's what a lot of people. I'd like to make a point. We are required to be audited every year by the state of Tennessee. And so our finances are audited every year. We have to engage an audit firm. That's become a little more difficult lately because of some additional requirements. Some of the private audit firms are getting out of government, particularly local government audits, because of some additional requirements that the state has put into place. But we did find an audit firm last year that we signed a 1-year agreement with, and renewed that this year because we had a satisfactory experience with them, and of course our audit had no findings. So we're back in up to that agreement again to be audited, but that's just something I want everybody to know, is that every dollar is tracked. Everything that is done from an internal controls perspective is tracked, and there's accountability for the taxpayer money. We also are getting geared up for 2 big wastewater projects. One is the War Trace Creek Interceptor, which is an upsize of a line that will increase capacity over on the east side of Springfield. The other one is, of course, our wastewater treatment plant. Talked about before on this show how massive of an expense that is. Unreal that when we set out to build the wastewater treatment plant, it was projected to be about $35 million. And now it'll probably be, by the time it's over with, over 80. The construction cost alone is 65. So it's pretty tragic just how expensive those things are. And I talked about last month that the reason we're building a wastewater treatment plant has absolutely nothing to do with growth. We're building a wastewater treatment plant primarily for two reasons. Number one, our wastewater treatment plant is going end of life because it was built in the 80s and things start breaking down. Processes are, we've had to put a lot of money in repairing blowers and different things in the plant. The second reason is that the state is tightening their discharge permit limits, and our plant, being 40 years old, can't meet those limits. The state's going to give us an extension on our current permit until we are able to get the new plant built, because they understand that our current plant cannot meet those new tightened limits. But once the new plant is built, we will be discharging with tightened certain things. Without getting too far into the weeds, because I know enough just to know that I don't know enough, right? But wastewater, we have to treat that wastewater. We have to return it back to the environment. When we return it to the environment, it has to be clean, right? And so there's certain that it has to be tested. It's sampled. It's tested. We are continuously doing testing at the plant. And there's certain limits of things that can go back into the environment. And the state has actually tightened those a little bit, just enough to where we really can't meet it. So the reason we're building a wastewater treatment plant is for those two reasons, not because of growth. Now, we're going to build this one a little bit larger than the one we have now because of, to be able to accommodate growth. But that's not the reason that we're building the plant. That's not the rationale for the expense.
Okay.
Moving right along. So the board had a great discussion about sidewalk obstructions last night. Our sidewalk obstruction ordinance currently doesn't allow any sidewalk obstructions. Particularly, there's an ADA clearance requirement of 36 inches that we have to make sure we meet. I think there's been a request from a business owner to be able to place some things out on the sidewalk. So the board's discussing kind of where they want to go with that, if they want to try something to allow businesses to put items out on the sidewalk. And so they've asked to look at a proposed ordinance next month. So stay tuned for next month, and we'll maybe know more at that point. Also, and I know we're running a little shorter on time, but the board did approve an offer in principle on on land for a new fire station. We did have some land under contract. We did a geotechnical survey on that. That soil came back pretty soft, where there was, I think, about 7 to 12 feet in places where you had to go down to hit solid ground. And so there was going to be a great amount of expense involved in making that land buildable for a fire station. So the board terminated that contract last month and is making an offer on another piece of property this month. So we're behind on the third fire station. We need to get moving on it. That's something that I think was due. We were due for a third fire station in 2017, maybe, I think, according to a fire study that was done here. That was before I came over to the city of Springfield. But so we're overdue. We're trying to get that moving and get the third fire station going to help serve the citizens. Obviously, what does that matter? It matters for response times, right? We want response times to be good, and what response times and the availability of fire service help your homeowners insurance rates, right? And everybody knows what's happened to homeowners insurance rates over the last.
And I know there's just a lot more. When I first moved here 7 years ago, I would barely hear sirens, and now you hear them a lot more. And that's one comment people are saying online, like, is it my imagination? And it's like, this is what comes when you increase population, guys. I mean, it's.
Yeah. We haven't seen it. I don't know if the fire department's seen that their calls for service really increase. I know that the police, we've seen them increase a little bit, but we haven't seen the increase that we thought we might see. And of course, Springfield hasn't grown as much yet. We've had a decent amount of growth, but our calls for service really haven't been, they haven't increased to the extent where we thought they would. So we're still, because if so, we would be, we're going to come due for a fourth fire station, but we're not there yet. We're still due for a third fire station. That those response times are what matter, and homeowners insurance rates, that's what people care about. It's what we hear. And so I was talking to someone who lives out in the county who said his homeowner's insurance doubled, and it had to do with the proximity. He called, and it had to do with the proximity, the ISO rating, and the proximity of fire service from where he lives. And so there's a huge effect on that. And I don't know, some people know that and some people may not.
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
There's a huge effect on your homeowner's insurance rates. They're a lot cheaper when you have a fire hydrant or availability of fire service nearby. So a couple things to finish up with. Freedom Fest, thanks to everybody that came out. Thanks to all of our staff and volunteers that worked that event. That was a big deal. We had a great time. The weather was great. Fireworks show was great. We had early estimates based on the numbers that I was given yesterday, about 7,000 people that came out that day. So big deal. And I think 13 different states. People came from 13 different states for Freedom Fest. So that was pretty wild. We do have First Friday coming up, we hope.
Believe it when I see it.
We're 0 for 2. Yeah, we're 0 for 2 on that so far, but we're going to try to have First Friday on August the 1st. The band Entice will be back. We're really hopeful for some good weather.
Yeah.
Lee Marie, it's been really tough. And I had somebody ask me, said, well, Ryan, it quit raining at 6:30. Why didn't y'all just start later? I said, well, there's a little bit more to it than that, because if it quits raining and wind blowing at 6:30, then we have to move the band in, move the vendors in, and that's about a 2-hour setup period. So you really can't start until 8:30. So
well, it's funny because my line dancers last night, they said, will there really be a First Friday in August? And I said, you know what? If it is raining, we're going to have a party down here in the big ballroom in the back, because we had, 50 people with dinner tables Monday night. So we know 50 for dinner fits, but it could fit probably 100 if they were, no tables in there. I said, so if it's doing something, I'm just going to invite people to come on in and we'll do some line dancing and,
It's just so happened that the rain and the wind have come through during the setup time. And if we could get it earlier, and get it moved out and we could still get set up in time for the event, but it's come through at setup time and then it quits at 6 or 5:36, and that would put an 8 to 8:30 start time for the event by the time, because we can't have pedestrians in while we're moving vendors in. And then
do those vendors get that money back for those ones that rained?
Yeah, they don't.
Oh.
Yeah, they don't.
Okay.
Pay for if they
Because
don't
someone
come out
asked
to the
me, they
event.
said, when do we get our money back? I don't know.
Yeah, contact City Hall. Contact
Okay.
Maddie at City Hall if
Okay.
somebody still has, if there's
Okay.
something that's fallen through the cracks.
And I do want to address Mr. Moon's comment. Yes, citizens do have a right to complain. Sometimes I will speak in generalities and I'll say, quit complaining if you're not doing something. But it is true. I mean, you do need to complain because you know what? Sometimes when you are complaining, other people that are going to the meeting might see that and they'll be able to say, hey, I'm not the only one that feels this way. So-and-so, wrote about it too. So
Absolutely.
sorry that I talked in a generality. They are saying don't complain if you're not doing anything. You're right, John. Thanks for correcting me.
And
I'm all-
lastly, I want to say congratulations to our 6U baseball team. They won the state championship. Springfield's 6U baseball team, that state tournament was hosted in Greenbrier, I believe, and they won the state championship. So they'll be headed to the World Series. So
Awesome.
representing Springfield on the national stage there.
Oh, very cool. I also have a congratulations for Betty and Paul Jones, who are celebrating this week their 41st wedding anniversary. So
Nice.
pretty cool. Yeah. So anything else that we need to be looking at?
That's it. Follow us on social media. Let us know. Give us a call.
Okay.
Sign up for our newsletter. We want to keep you informed as much as possible, and we appreciate always opportunities like this to come on the show. And
One
share
more thing I did
information.
want to talk about since we have 1 minute. You talked about sidewalk obstruction. I want to talk about parking lot obstruction because, Main Street, there's some stores there that there's not a lot of parking right by the courthouse. Yesterday there happened to have been 6 parking spots taken up by one company. I'm not going to say what the company is, but I felt bad for Crossroads Bookstore because they're a gift store and a bookstore. And if someone is looking for a gift and they come by and there's no parking in front of you, they'll go to another store. Like I wasn't upset because I have line dancing and my people, they want their exercise. They'll go and park somewhere and walk in, but Crossroads taking up 6 spaces when it wasn't necessary, that's a lot, guys. So please be careful of the vendors that you're blocking on Main Street and other areas where there's not a lot of.
Yeah, we'd ask people to be respectful and be courteous. Obviously, it's 2-hour parking, and we've had to unfortunately write parking tickets where people abuse that. But yeah, we'd ask folks to just be considerate of their neighbors down there too. I mean, because even if they're staying within the 2-hour limit, taking up a whole row, it's just it affects everybody, right?
Right. Yeah, and we don't want to be bitter, But when you walk out, you're like, there's no parking. But anyway, thank you so much
you.
for all the information. Appreciate it. God
Great
bless.
day.
All right. And we have the Go Show coming up because every single Wednesday, you guys know I have the Go Show, which we go over a lot of calendar information. And so I am going to go ahead and switch off of One Street over here and bring up the title for the Go Show. I guess I could just go straight on through. I could do that. I could just go straight on through because, all our production assistant has arrived for the Go Show. So let me give her her stuff here. There you go. Thank you, Miss Linda. All right. So that was Ryan Martin. He was from the city of Springfield, Tennessee, and he or someone from the city comes on every Wednesday following the alderman meeting. So I'm going to go ahead and just go straight on through. I'm going to change the little thingy here that says Go Show. So there we go. All right, so Go Show is your source for information, inspiration, and always a few dates to add to your calendar. And so there's so much coming up. Gosh, guys, I can't understand when people say there's nothing to do, because there is so much to do. I'm going to pull up right now my Facebook page, because I have Deborah Grant coming in at 8:15. And so when she gets here, I definitely want to talk to her about a lot of stuff, because we have missed having her on. She hasn't been on for, gosh, it's got to be over a couple months as far as with me anyway. But, oh yeah, that's so cool that sold out. Let me go to my Facebook page here, guys. Sorry. Let me close that. Okay, so if you go to my Facebook page, which is just a white circle that says rule number 1 in the middle, that is my profile picture. The other picture, the background picture, is when they had Good Morning, Sunday Morning Country over at the Grand Ole Opry House last month. That was super fun. Okay, so anyways, on my Facebook page, guys, go ahead and go to that. And the first flyer there is the July classes that we did speak about earlier in the early hours. So I'm not going to go over those right now. We're probably going to discuss a little bit of that with Deborah, because I know she's friends with all those people too. But yeah, the Well in the Square is now having a lot of different types of classes for your not just physical, but also mental and spiritual well-being. So check those out. Some of them are free. Some of them are $5. Some are $10. Some are $20. So lots of fun stuff. And I love that it's just so centrally located right there in the square by the historic courthouse. Okay, so I'm going to scroll down here a little bit. I'm just going to go down the list here. There is a men's fish fry coming up Friday, July 25th at 6 p.m. And the Harvest Baptist Association is who is putting this on. So it's going to be several churches. Everyone is invited, and that is in White House at 506 Hester Drive in White House. And that is a Friday night. And that's the church at Grace Park. I know a lot of you know about that. So you can head on over there. That is their annual men's fish fry, which that usually, it's usually at a different church each time. Okay, Back to School Bash 2025. This is where the backpacks are going to be given away with supplies and such. And so this is going to be Saturday, July 26th from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. And this is at the center in Springfield, 401 North Main. And so kids are going to get a free backpack with school supplies and some food and snacks. And there's going to have some activities there and games. So it is a first come, first serve. So not everybody that shows up will get a backpack. So make sure you're one of the first ones, and everybody's invited to go to that. It's a free event. Again, 2 to 6 p.m. at the center, back to school. And that is on my Facebook page. Center Point Baptist Church, Wonder Junction, VBS. Oh, yes. There are still some VBSs, guys, that you can be a part of. And so get your kids in as many VBSs. That's my advice. This one is this Saturday, 9:30 to 3:30. That's a great time. You can drop the kids off and get a lot done during that amount of time. So it is, let's see, join us for a fun-filled day to marvel at the life of Jesus when he board Wonder Junction to the Old West. So that looks really fun. That is at 6660 Highway 161, and that is Centerpoint Baptist Church in Springfield. So I still remember my VBS days from when I was a kid, and I absolutely loved that time. So get your kids on out to this stuff. Family movie night. Where is this? Oh, this is at Long Hollow. Oh, they're going to be playing Light of the World. Oh, that's very cool. You do want to register. It says say registration is required. So it is free, but they do need you to register. And so that is not until Friday, August 1st at 7 p.m. So you have plenty of time. Feed My Sheep, that dinner and silent auction and live auction that's going to be happening on Saturday, July 26th, 6 to 8 p.m. I have been told it is sold out. So good job, guys. Whoever was marketing that, you did an amazing job. I know that there's a lot of great items for the auction, and I heard that you're going to be able to bid on some of those online. So if you missed out and you didn't get a ticket, you can still help to support Feed My Sheep, the Haiti ministry there. And so you can go ahead and go online and get the information for that. Okay, next on my page, of course, is the Pray for TN. This is the second annual. Last year we had over 300 people that circled up around the courthouse, held hands, and sang and just worshiped. It was such a special time for our county. And it is happening this Friday, guys, 8 a.m. We really need you to call your neighbors and your friends and text them, tell them to come out. Also, there is a Pray for TN event Facebook page invite. So you can just go on, click, add your friends to that and send it to them also on Messenger. We want to get an excellent turnout. It would be just awesome if we could, wrap around the square, the courthouse twice. Okay, Cedar Hill Farmers Market for July. When is that this Thursday? Tomorrow it is. Tomorrow at 5 p.m. I love the Cedar Hill Farmers Market. I know that it's a smaller one, but boy, the quality stuff that they have there and just the fellowship, I love going there. It's they have that covered area that you can sit and eat, and they usually have live music happening. Let me see if I pull this up, if it tells who's coming this time. Let's see, it's a 3-hour thing. It goes from 5 to 8 p.m. Food trucks, yep, live music, excellent. They're going to have ice cream, lots of vendors, produce, flowers. I'll tell you, some of the plants that I've gotten there are still going strong. Baked goods, jewelry, lots of stuff. Oh, classic car cruise. So if you're not doing anything tomorrow night at 5 p.m., 5 to 8, Cedar Hill Farmers Market. Super fun right there where the ball fields are and City Hall. And they usually have that City Hall open. And inside now, they have a really cool little Cedar Hill museum. Lots of fun pictures in there. So check that out as well. All right, Poet Voices. This is one thing that Brother T was just talking about. And this is at Ebenezer Baptist. And this will be Sunday, August 10th. So you got a little bit of time, but get that on your calendar. 6 p.m. at Ebenezer Baptist Church. We love going to Ebenezer for the concerts. That is just so awesome. All right, scrolling down, we have the rodeo, guys. If you missed yesterday's show, you better watch it. The Facebook shows or Facebook Lives only stay up on Facebook for 30 days. So make sure you check that out. I had John and Dennis on from the rodeo, and I'm so excited because it is so much fun. And they are going to have that huge steer again with that you can sit on and get pictures like I did last year. That was super fun. But yeah, they do a wonderful job. And it was so refreshing to talk with them yesterday because they were talking about, how they have a really great patriotic part at the start and also just honoring God. And I just love that we live in Springfield and Robertson County where that is a priority. I just absolutely love that. Okay, let me scroll down to another. Oh, there's a picture of me and the two guys from yesterday. There's a picture of okay, that video is of a lady whose family farm is getting taken away. Thank you, Gina Headheber, for bringing that to my attention. You guys can watch that at your leisure, but that was pretty sad. I think that she said it's a 5th generation farm that. Anyway, okay, then we have the interview with Cindy from yesterday. Cindy Norton is so awesome, and I absolutely love her class. And like I said, every day after I'm in her class, when I lay down, my knees do not hurt like they usually do. So it's great to, and like I had Wild Doc on not too long ago, and we were talking about like, if you stop using certain muscles, you do lose them, and you lose a lot of the ability for them to do things. And so guys, it's real, it's true, move it or lose it. So get out in Cindy's class. You can try it for free. Otherwise it's $5. $5 for your health, and believe me, this kind of stuff is very proactive. You need to do this to stay healthy. So I'm loving Cindy's class. It is over at the Well in the Square, 600 South Main, every Tuesday, Thursday, 10 a.m. to 10:30. And also now she is adding a night class because people have been asking. So if you're one of those who've been asking, you better get out there next Tuesday at 6:15 p.m. and get to her band class. And then I do my line dance classes right around her classes. So Tuesdays and Thursdays, 11 a.m. to 11:30, a half-hour class. I do line dancing for fun, fitness, and friends. So if you're looking for any of those, you will find it. And then also on Tuesday nights, I'm doing one before her band class. So from 5:30 to 6, I am doing a line dance class. And so we've grown in numbers. So we're now down in the, my line dance class is down in the larger ballroom inside Crossroads. So yes, you do go inside Crossroads. Nancy was cracking me up the other day because she said, people come in, they see this sign that says line dance, and they ask her, do you do line dancing? She goes, no, but keep on walking. So that's where you go. Keep on walking. And we have a lot of fun, a lot of new friendships, and I love to see that. And this past Monday, I interviewed Bill Jones, and that was super fun because I asked him all about that building, where Crossroads is and where the Wellness Square is. It used to be Randolph House and a department store back in the day. And so that was a fun interview. If you missed that, go ahead and watch that. Dog Days of Summer. I'm so glad my dog friends posted this because this wasn't on my radar. But Dog Days of Summer is at Painted Tree in Madison. I know it's not Robertson County, but I'll go out of the county for animal events. So it says, beat the heat, bring your pup for a tail wagging day of fun at Painted Tree. So let's see, it is going to be from, oh my goodness, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Pet-friendly shopping event featuring live music, exclusive sales, sweet treats for your pup, and a chance to win a $100 Painted Tree gift card. Well, that is really cool. I'm going to have to see if I can squeeze that in. So it says, whether you're looking to treat yourself, your home, or your four-legged friend, Painted Tree is a place to be and support small businesses. Enjoy a summer day out with your best friend. So thank you, Doug Drake, for posting about that because that wasn't on my radar, but it certainly is now. All right. And scrolling down here, let's see, 8:10. I better do a break real quick because once Deborah gets here, I'm going to have to talk with her. I'm not going to have to. I get to. I love Deborah. Okay, so I'm going to save UPS for Deborah because she's going to know what all of the specials are with them. But I do want to talk about a very special friend, and that is Gary Rastelli over at Ridgetop Mower of Springfield. I'm going to bring up his phone number because I don't have it. Okay, here we go. Ridgetop Mower. Guys, we are like full on in mower mode. And I don't know if you've been watching lately, but have you been watching your grass grow like while you sit there? I have. Anyways, make sure you're taking good care of your mower. Guys, it is just like a car as far as needing regular maintenance. You do need to check the oil. You do need to sharpen your blades. And Gary is awesome. And you don't want to just, I hear horror stories all the time of people that have tried to do something on their own or had someone try to sharpen those blades and did such a dreadful job. So Gary is quality. And so get on over there. Tell him that you heard about it on Lee Marie's Go Show. And, they have not only, service, but they also have a lot of parts there. So if you want to try to do it yourself, you can go in and talk to Gary. He will give you advice, and he's got so many parts on his walls and everything is labeled just absolutely perfectly. So you can go in and talk to him. Also, if you have stuff in your yard and you know that you do, that is it's just been sitting there and you're like, well, one more year of it sitting out there and then I can justify putting it in the dump truck or whatever. Well, don't wait. I mean, you're not going to use it and you're just waiting for it to be absolutely non-usable. Call Gary and just give it to him because he will pick it up for free. And that's great because then all of a sudden your yard looks fabulous and somebody else can, he can maybe repurpose some of the parts and get it back out into the universe, right? So let him take care of that. So they're located at 1100 Matthews Street in Springfield. And I know you know where it is because that is the little street that is next to Ace Hardware. It's between the barbecue place and the Ace Hardware, and that is where Matthews Street is. And so at 1100 Matthews, they're open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And Saturday, they're open 8 a.m. to noon, so you can get your stuff real early over to them at that point. But if you do need to be picked up, like a mower, you can call them about that. You can call him at 615-855-0044. Again, that's 615-855-0044. And you can mention that you want the 10% off, and you can still get 10% off parts and labor when you mention the Go Show. So make sure you do that, guys. Okay, and then one other friend I want to talk about real quick is Southside Drugstore. You know Southside because they now have been around for, I think, over 100 years, and that is just so awesome to have, a family-run business. We need to be supporting these small, family-run businesses because they are the heart of the community, and we really appreciate them being here and staying in here. So get in there. I know that Linda, our production assistant, has her line of gifts at Southside, and I understand they're doing quite well. She's going to have to get some more over there because they've been selling them out. So yeah, it's not just a full service pharmacy, which is awesome because they do deliver to local folks. They do full time, full service, but they also have, like, many local makers and bakers have their stuff over there. So if you're looking for a unique gift, you can pull right up there, run in, and find something that's like a one of a kind thing. So sometimes even have fresh flowers. Just stop in and see some of that hometown charm at Southside. They're located at 1000 South Main Street in Springfield. Again, that's 1000 South Main Street in Springfield. Their store hours are Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. And for more information, you can visit their website, southsidedrugco.com. Again, that's southsidedrugco.com. So be sure to tell them that Lee Marie sent you from The Go Show. Okay, guys, and just a reminder, we do have our app on the phones. So you can listen to WSGI all the time, no matter where you are. Also, the website is WSGI1100.com. And then all of these shows, our talk shows, are streamed live on both Facebook and on YouTube. And we appreciate if you would send those to people or text them to people because we are a Christian station, so we're not going to just come up willy-nilly in the feeds all the time. We rely on you guys to, to help get the word out. And I love the music that Brother T has been putting on our station lately. So many great songs. It's just, you guys have, if you're not listening to the music on 1100 WSGI, you really need to, because you are going to hear some awesome stuff and even some local stuff. I love when I put it on and I hear Danny Crabtree. He is the worship leader over at Lights Chapel, and his songs are phenomenal, especially John the Baptist. But there's so many songs that I love by him, but you can hear him on WSGI, and you're not going to hear him on the other shows, which I love all the other worship stations. I really do, because I love worship music. But if you want to hear some different stuff that you're not hearing on a regular rotation, Brother T keeps putting in stuff in. I really appreciate it because very, very uplifting. Okay, let me go back to Facebook. Deborah should be coming in any second now. I know she's been super, super busy. So if she can't get here till 8:30, that's okay, Miss Deborah. If you're listening on the radio, driving like a maniac. No, just kidding. Oh, she's laughing. I can see it in my mind. Okay, guys, let me scroll down here. And there was a bunch of other, the river baptism, July 27th. Okay, so this is going to be over at Grace, and High Road is going to be performing. You guys all know and love Sarah. She is part of High Road, and they are going to be performing at this. It is so much fun. You can watch the baptism from the overpass there. But you can also, go down. But I don't know how many people they baptize. They usually have quite a few. And it's such a fun event. I love to go to it. And then following that will be a fish fry and luncheon. So, but you have to get a ticket because they need to know how many people. So the tickets are only $1, but you do need to go ahead and get those. And so again, the river baptism is going to be on July 27th. Deborah's in the house. I guess you probably weren't listening on the radio because you're probably walking in
I
the.
did. Partway, I thought, I've got to get ready and get out the door.
No worries. Well, I was just saying, I know she's been really busy. I'm sure she's going to pop in here anytime, but I think you were probably walking in the parking lot at that time.
Yes, I was.
Deborah, it's been too long.
I know.
How are you?
Running wide open. I'm good.
Well, you look gorgeous.
I don't know if it's any other way with me, huh?
I know. You look gorgeous as always. Are you excited for Friday?
I am.
All right. Now, are you going to be, Brother T said you're going to be part of it.
Of course. I
All
get
right.
to help lead the praise and worship. And
Ooh,
I
here's
like
the
that we're
flyer.
not performing. We're just leading others to worship together, so we can all.
There's the beautiful
We
flyer.
can all.
Do you have
my
more of
God.
these?
I need to print more. I've
Okay,
given.
good.
That's the last one I have.
Okay.
Because I work at UPS, and
Yes.
so I've been handing them out.
Can I keep this one here so that all week I can
Absolutely.
show
I
it?
think I have one more in here. I'm sorry.
Okay,
I
good.
had two.
All right, so this is what the graphics look like, and you can also, I think, print them off from the site. But
Yeah.
anyways, or you can stop and see Deborah. But I'd love if somebody had some of those on them tomorrow at Good Morning Robertson County.
Yes. I got your
And that is one event I haven't talked about yet, so let me do that real quick while you
yeah,
get
I
your
mean,
adjusted.
I'm just here to fill in. You're doing an amazing job.
Oh.
I was listening at the other.
You're not here just to fill in. You are a star-studded
supply.
person on your own. But I do want to mention Good Morning Robertson County. It is the third Thursday of every month. Okay, I can't. It is the third Thursday of every month, and Good Morning Robertson County. And it is held over where you pay your water bill for Springfield at the Springfield City Hall. And it is 7:30 to 8. It's only a half-hour briefing. You get an update from the chamber, you get an update from the city, and from the county. So guys, everybody in Robertson County should be going. It's free, and you don't need to be a member of anything. And it is packed full of information, guys. So I highly recommend it. All right.
And they have good breakfast food.
They do, and they also have free breakfast, so you can grab a bite on your way out. I'm going to switch mics with you real quick because that mic, being told, we're having a little bit of problem, and I have it all the way up, and I can't put it up anymore. So I'm going to give you this one.
I'm not real quiet.
I'm going to talk into this one, and I'm going to give you mic number 2.
switching,
So go ahead and
okay.
take this one. All right. I really appreciate Linda, our production assistant, who tells us when we're having an issue. And so let me turn your mic on. Go ahead, Linda.
Better?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Praise
very
the
good.
Lord.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Yes, I'm very excited about Friday. I heard a lady in UPS. We have beautiful hymns and music playing. And there was a lady that was in the line next to me, and she was just singing along with the hymns that were being played. I love Brother
Aw.
Tom. He always has good music in there. It's a very peaceful atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, ma'am, we need you to come add your supply and bring your church family. And she got the biggest grin on her face. And so I handed her a flyer. And then the other lady that was in front of me wanted a flyer.
Ah.
So I expect, the church is coming together. It's exciting. Plus all your government heads,
and all your UPS customers.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be like a UPS customer reunion.
I said, we need to be able to go double around the courthouse. That was so cool. And the best part to me is bringing back faith and God, in unity to Robertson County, representing Robertson County, and just saying, Lord, hey, we haven't forgotten about you. We're putting you first. We're putting you back first. And I love that we're having all the different churches coming to be representative, including the Hispanic church. So we'll have prayer in Spanish. So I've been letting the people, just everybody know. I love the diversity. I love the unity. It's not, they say, well, what church? I said, it's all the churches. It's just all the churches. It doesn't matter. So come and add to the supply and bring your friends. And
Awesome.
we're going to do hymns this year because more people have been raised on the good old gospel hymns. So we're doing a medley of the hymns. And
Nice.
Brother Jason from South Haven put that little that together. So I'm very thankful for him and that church
Somebody
there.
needs to go live for sure on Facebook, okay? Because I don't want to miss any of it.
I know. What are we going to do without you? But you're coming. You're coming.
I'll be there eventually, but I have to do one street over because, I'm committed to that.
Yes.
But I'll try to get over there as soon as I can. But hopefully somebody goes live. I'm sure somebody will.
The diversity. Well, I think Brother T is doing an amazing job, kind of coordinating and overseeing that, and just putting it together with a lot of help from his friends. And
hmm And if you're out there and you're like, well, gosh, I wish I could help out, you can. We need you to text people. We need you to forward
Yes,
that
ma'am.
flyer.
yes,
And there's
and this
also
is pinned on my Facebook.
Okay.
On my Facebook page.
that means
Deborah
it's the
Grant,
top
so-
thing. For those of you that don't know that language, it
sorry.
means that's the top item on the Deborah Grant Facebook page.
And I put it on all the HIP sites, so just share it on your own personal site. It's about 30 minutes, so it doesn't demand a lot of your time, but it's once a year. Pray for Tennessee and coming together in prayer and praise. So I'm real excited about it and everything else. So
Excellent. Very cool, guys. And if you are listening from another area within Tennessee, go to the prayfortn.us website and look up your county, and it will have a date. Every county has been given a date.
yes, so do your county. And now this is across Tennessee.
Mhm.
We're hoping it's going to get across the whole.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool if
United
every
States.
state did this. But yes, the governor has designated July as a month of prayer, fasting, and
Praise God.
repentance. So I still need to do some fasting because I haven't. I know some people are fasting the whole month. I'm not an advanced, type
Well,
of.
you can
faster.
fast, phone time, TV time. It doesn't always have to be food. It's just setting aside something to give importance to getting in God's presence and hearing from Him
Very good.
and praying for our nation. I know they're going to be reading the resolution there as well. We have, the fire chief, the chief of police, the local mayor, the Robertson County mayor, and Sabi will be there, our state's representative. So a lot of your officials, and leadership will be
Nice.
there. So
That's so awesome.
I love that. I just get the biggest grin on my face, like, yes, go God,
Go God.
and
that's
go
right.
Robertson County.
Yes, very good. Now, Deborah, I know that I have to tell you that one of the reasons why I like to have you on is because you inspire me to eat better and take care of myself. So, what is in that bag?
Well, I'm a health coach. I'm a
Yes.
holistic health coach, certified holistic health coach. I've been doing this 30 years. And a lot of questions that people, come to me with, and I, I'm going to sidetrack to all the classes, wonderful classes you're having at Wellspring. So I may add to that surprise.
Well in the Square.
Well in the Square.
Oh, Wellspring is one of them. So.
Wellspring is one of them. Well in the Square. I love that because you're in a prime location to have people come. So
And we want everybody to be well in the Square.
yes, and
Gotta start somewhere.
everywhere that I go in different things, and I hear people talking, or they'll ask me a question, or I see them making comments about either being sick or being in pain and they can't get better. I saw a lady yesterday and she had on an arm brace, and I said, how are you doing, ma'am? And she's she said her arm, I said, I hope that's getting better. She's not getting better. It's been months and months and months and it's not getting better. And I try to be real careful just depending on where I'm hearing them, because I just a generic thing, you need some bone and joint support. There's things you can do besides just mask a symptom.
Mm-hmm.
And people don't know about that. They're not aware of that. I do have a host of naturopaths and herbalists and doctors and just every kind of aspect that I can, get information from, and I have several of them coming on. So I'm going to plug this August 9th. If you save the date, August 9th,
Yes,
from
ma'am.
11 to 4.
11
And
to
it's a free meeting. We're doing a free meeting there as well. I haven't done one in a while. I've used to do the big regional events.
Will there be like a lunch for sale or anything?
I think we're going to have a little buffet, and I think it's going to be just finger foods because it's 11 to 4. But we might have a little donation basket because
Oh, okay.
beautiful Miss Linda, I told her about the event, and so the next day I saw her. She says, "I just have to tell you, I have your menu for Saturday."
Ah.
And I just love her because we'll have some healthy foods there and little finger foods. So, and we'll have the doctors there. We'll have the Zyto test there, which is a test where you put your hand in. It's just a real simple test, but it kind of pinpoints areas that you need to work on in your body to get full wellness, and it kind of gives a head to toe, and it's right on. It's a really interesting. It's a
So
scientific
how does that
tool.
work?
I don't know. It's an energy thing. It just it's kind of
So it's not an X-ray; it's something.
yeah,
else.
it's reading your body,
Oh, okay.
and it's the results have been right on, and
Wow.
just making recommendations. So we'll
And is it
have
gonna be
that there.
free to use that?
It's going to be free Saturday. It's normally
Oh.
only $25, so that's not really a huge fee. But if you come Saturday,
All right,
you
I'm there.
know, and I also have the free health evaluation, which is you're being graded in 4 different categories to kind of tell you where your health is. So we have that available anytime, and I have people just all of a sudden I'll get a little flag, and you have free health coaching with that. It's anti-age, the number 4, the letter U.com. So ANTIAGE for you.com. You can fill out a free health survey. You don't have to wait for August 9th. But if you want to come, We'll have, some sampling and some laughter and some fun and just a great group of people. And the lovely couple that are coming in from Oklahoma, they're just precious. Oh, and their daughter owns a dance studio,
Ah,
so you might have some things in common. They've done really, really well. She's grown from having just a very few opening her own to a 500. I mean, it's
wow.
crazy, and they do all the competitions.
Oh,
A little bit
nice.
different
Mhm,
from your beautiful ballroom dancing and, uh,
mhm.
all the line dancing.
So now
all the
this
stuff.
is on a Saturday,
This is on Saturday, August 9th.
August 9th.
If you can't come to the whole thing, just come to part of it. It's 11 to 4.
What's
It's,
the best part?
I don't know yet. All of it's the best part. We have fun. We have a good time. And we'll have some pollen burst samples there. I know everybody loves
Ah,
pollen burst.
yes,
I
yes.
have a crew working at my house finishing up the little building, and I have it's a product. It's a juice, power juice, and the main builder she loves it. And so I've left a box, and I leave Rebound if they're sweating, and
Mm.
I leave bottles of water.
Yeah, tell people a little bit about rebound because not as many people know about that, and it's very important right now with
It is
all
huge.
this
It is
sweat.
huge because people, when you sweat, I don't care if you're working construction or whatever you're doing, just outside, you're sweating out a soup of vitamins and minerals, not just water. So if you just put water back in, you're still depriving your body. You need it to work your heart. You need it for everything. And I was talking to someone the other day. Well, I know Richard had worked as an EMT, and they found a young man, just like, in his early 30s, had children, and he had a core of 107, 108 inside. Okay, so if someone gets heat exhaustion, even putting water on the outside may not cool them up. That young man died.
Oh,
He died because he was trying to drink water, but he was sweating out more than he was putting back in, and he wasn't putting back in what he was sweating out.
oh my gosh.
And he died, but you would have had to go, you would have had to go in and out and down the throat, with water. So it's very, very important that you're drinking the water, half your body weight in ounces per day, but adding the minerals, and that's the rebound is what you're sweating out. It was
Okay.
designed for athletes, but anyone can use it.
Okay.
My son is a coach, and he has everyone on it, and
Well, I know that one day you're like, you have an extra box of rebound, I'll be right there. You got it. But I have to confess, I haven't tried it yet.
ah,
I have it out at the well, and some of my
isn't
people have
that
been taking it. I know, but I'm like, I don't sweat that much. So I was like, oh, but then these last couple
it
days.
gives kind of energy. It was designed to have the athletes drink it before the game, during the game, and after to replenish. Or if you're working out at a gym,
Okay.
or if you're just taking a walk, it's just kind of keeps you feeling, hydrated. It's very important. I went through my whole box, and my son, he's a coach, and he was working he had a firework tent. They promote their school there, CCS, and he was working out and staying the night there because, lots of money in the fireworks. And his wife went out of state with the girls for a funeral, but she took all the rebound and the pollen burst, and he was like, ah! So that's why I wanted to get the rebound from you.
All right.
Okay, I know I
Well,
got
and
sidetracked.
I think a lot of people don't know, like when they have a headache or different things like that, a lot of times it is
Dehydration,
dehydration.
yeah.
And we have to be reminded of that. And I heard somebody even recently saying, I think they were sitting next to Linda Kumar at a meeting and they were like, I just been having this headache. And they're like, are you drinking enough water? And he was like, oh, you're right. We just have to be reminded, especially right
Well,
now.
we don't think about it, and you're going, but you almost have to do it on purpose. You almost have to do it on purpose.
Right,
And
right.
so,
I mean, I know people that do. They pre-make their bottles because, like, a lot of people are saving their glass.
I do.
Okay. A lot of the people are saving their glass bottles and stuff because glass obviously is more healthy than plastic.
Yes, yes.
And they'll just fill 5 or whatever for the day, and they know they've got to get
They
through
know.
those or whatever.
Yeah, it's vital to just live right now. This kind of weather is crazy, and so anyway, and I had another comment that a lot of times, because of my hair, a lot of people. Linda's drinking her juice.
She got inspired. Our production assistant is downing water
She's
now.
saying, okay, I'll do it. But as you grow older, a lot of people our age that have gone, I don't know if you're quite there or not, but you go through menopause and people start losing their hair, they lose their energy, they lose their muscle, and they don't realize what's going on and why. And so I have people always asking me, wow, your hair is long and it's thick, and I'm wearing a little bit longer than I have in a while, but it's healthy. I don't have the thinning of the hair, and so I said, well, get in touch with me, because a lot of that is hormonal. So one of my favorite products, and I've been on this product for 15 years. It's something you've helped young people that are having their cycle and they're having a lot of pain, and they, are in bed for a couple of days. It helps regulate that, or if you have fibroid cysts, if you have irregular ones, and it helps you just kind of breeze through menopause. But another thing it does is it regulates your body. It just gives your body the building blocks that you need, and it helps your energy levels, your I don't need it, but oh dear, sorry, let me turn that off.
Someone's out of pollen burst. Anyways, this is Deborah Grant, and she is a holistic health coach and who has a loud phone. And
My daughter.
Okay.
I forgot to turn it off, but anyway, so just so that you know that you have some things, because we lose estrogen and we lose some of the things as we age.
I have a question. One of my dancers said she never ever used to sweat so much as she
Right.
does now. Is that the thing that
Yes.
you would recommend?
Yes, it
Okay.
is. And you have to get people's attention. I went into one lady, we had a wild jam cream, but there's wild jam in this before. And, we were in a tinier room than this, and the lady was sweating, and it was like walking into a freezer. And I thought, I have to get her attention before I can even talk to her, because she was just so, how you're just kind of, you're sweating and you're just anxious feeling. And so at that time I put some on her wrist, and in just a minute, she was able to, I
Do you
feel
have it
better.
like in a cream or something?
We did have it at the time. We don't have it
Okay.
now, but we have this, and this
Okay.
works the same.
Okay.
So the night sweats, the mood swings, the hair loss, that, and along with, I have the minerals. I brought my Beyond Osteo Effects because it's bone and joint.
Oh yeah. Now this one is the one that I've known several people, and I'm not going to mention names or titles. They
No.
don't want me to say that, but
No.
I've had a couple people in my family that after they started doing this, their hair that used to be light went dark.
Yes, I have had people that had full white hair go back to black, even like
Wow.
80 and 90 years old.
Really?
I really have.
I didn't know that.
Yes, I forgot. Well, you brought something to my attention. There's so many thousands of
So you
testimonies.
have to take it, was it twice a day?
You have to take the full dose
Full
for your
dose.
body weight.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
All right. Yeah,
it
so
helps you
that's
sleep. It helps with restless leg
so
syndrome.
adults mix 1 scoop in water or juice, and is that just once a day?
I do half a scoop twice a day.
Okay.
Keeps it in your
That's
bloodstream.
what I was doing, was half a
You know,
scoop.
we can't say it's going to cure anything, but when you give your body what it needs, if you're having that restless leg when you're going to bed, this is a great thing to take right before you go to bed.
And it's great because it's got magnesium, which most people are
Yes.
depleted in. I know that.
So these are the two things I brought today because, so many women are going through with some bad symptoms, going through menopause, and they're losing their hair. I've had so many recently, and I'm like, I'm 63. I sailed through that,
Oh, look, 60.
and my hair is still thick. It's still healthy, and I didn't lose it.
Wow.
So so if you're having those challenges, and you're offering classes now, so I thought about maybe doing,
Oh, you should do a class over at Well in the Square.
yeah,
Okay.
maybe at least once a month, and we can do subjects. We can do,
Ah,
women's health or weight loss or diabetes.
yeah.
There are natural alternatives that at least support what you're doing. Always, I'm not saying don't talk to your doctor, but do make some healthy choices, change some. Maybe you don't know that if you have a thyroid disorder that you don't need to be eating broccoli and cauliflower. Maybe you don't know that. And so we can start just maybe having a subject. And on a side note on weight loss, my mom, she recently passed away, and going through her things, one of the things that she kept that I found that she treasured, and I felt so sad for this in a way, kind of, but she had all the Weight Watchers stars and pins and things that she won and certificates and whatnot. And, that's a really great group. They met at the Y, but it was the thing with that is if you have a group of people, maybe you're overweight and you want to lose, but sometimes when you have friends and accountability that are kind of in the same boat and you meet on a regular basis, whether it's once a month or whatever it is, and encourage one another and bring tips to the table to help you accomplish your goal, I think that would be a great thing to add to your Well on the Square. And because you have right out there, we could talk about some things, we could, encourage, we could walk on the square together. We could have a group of people, or if you want to find a buddy for accountability, I think that's important. And we can get some little stars and some certificates,
Yeah.
and just it was kind of like the little stepping stones, like when you reach this goal.
Right.
And it doesn't matter what your goal is. Maybe you just want to get into a favorite outfit, or maybe you want to feel healthier. But I do know that if you're excessively overweight, you're putting pressure on your organs, and you need those to live.
Yeah.
You're putting pressure on your feet,
And your joints.
your joints. Are going to wear out. So
My knees too. Like, I know like when I've been eating more
Been
and I'm
eating-
heavier, my knees hurt because it's trying to hold up too much
CRAP.
weight. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, also, when we're eating things that are not good, it adds inflammation to the joints, and that's where the pain comes
And
from.
one thing I did want to mention, and it's sad because people have been trained to say, well, I just have arthritis. There's nothing I can do.
yes. Oh,
my
yes.
gosh, that drives me crazy.
I
Isn't
told some-
arthritis inflammation, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it's also a kind of an osteoporosis too. It's a deep, you're not.
But there's stuff you can
Yeah,
do.
there's stuff in,
Why do the doctors tell people, oh, you just have arthritis, go home and live with it? There's
or
nothing
give
you
you a
can do.
painkiller.
Oh,
It masks the symptoms. And I was talking to someone the other day because you brought up a good point. When I teach people, I teach them natural law and spiritual law. So spiritual law is you have what you say. The Bible says death and life are in the power of the tongue. You eat the fruit thereof. And then it goes on to say a little clue, therefore choose life. And so when you constantly are saying, I think I'm catching strep, or
or something, these allergies
I
are
always
killing
have
me.
I always have allergies, or I always get sick, or I always have headaches, or they almost like want to have an organ recital to they have something worse than you do, and it's worse and compounded, and they need this specialist and that specialist and that specialist. I'm not against doctors. Again, I want to do that disclaimer. But death and life are in the power of the tongue. Choose life. To speak over yourself. It's huge. It's huge. It's huge.
And I want to take that just a minute to say this book right here that
Yes,
I have.
that's a great program. with Miss
Biblical
Shannon.
Foundations of Freedom. This man who wrote this book, Art Matthias, had a lot of ailments.
Yes.
And he ended up getting, he had only was given like, a few months to live or something. He ended up unwinding out of all of that, and he's still alive. And that's why he's got this book out. And it is chock full of scripture.
And he talks about also another spiritual law in that book, which I know Shannon goes into great detail, is walking in forgiveness. Walking in forgiveness. When you are holding unforgiveness, the Bible says, that's like a cancer. It rots the bones, bitterness and strife. So a lot of people don't think about that. They're always mad or angry, and they hold unforgiveness. So that's a huge, that's an amazing program, and Shannon does a great job, and I think she's one of the ones that's teaching a free class if you register.
That's right.
Before the
last Monday.
24th?
Yes, Shannon will be teaching a class, and that is the last Monday of the month at 6 p.m. at
Yes.
Well on the Square. And Rhonda Rostelli will be doing a class right after that also and has been through Biblical Foundations as well. Matter of fact, I think they're teaching it at their church in one of their studies. So, super excited that just to bring all of these people together. It's a total God thing.
Well, you're paying forward what, the gifts and talents or the experiences that you have. And, I may not have the whole picture, but God's given me a piece. Every one of you are unique, and you have a God-given purpose. If you're still breathing, you have a God-given purpose. And I don't care if you're young or old, God has something for you to do, and it's specific to you that only you can bring to the table. So
Very true. I do want to talk about Coldstream Camp real quick,
Okay,
and
yes,
then I'm going to let you do the UPS
I
ad
will do it.
because you know what the specials are.
I do.
All right, Coldstream Camp is in Adams, Tennessee, guys. It's only like 15 minutes from here. It is beautiful. Beautiful lake, beautiful cottages, just such a great place to take your church or your small group. They've been doing this since 1980 here in Robertson County. And so I hope you guys will go out and tour them. I know a lot of you went to Experience Robertson County last year, and they were featured as the Adams location. But I know not everybody made it out there, so you guys can call and get your own tour. You can give them a call at 615-696-2208. 615-696-2208. I know right now they're like full on into summer camp mode. So, if you have dates that you want to check for next year, you better get on the books now, because they do. It's such a wonderful camp that it does fill up really fast. But go out and see Coldstream Christian Camp as soon as possible and get your stuff on the books over there. And our other sponsor, UPS, Ms. Deborah, why don't you go ahead and do that for me?
I will. I work part-time at UPS right here in Springfield. It's right behind HG Hills on 513 Memorial Boulevard. And a lot of people know that we ship packages and that we receive Amazon returns. We also have cable returns. But what they don't know is we're a full-stop print shop. Anything you need printed, we can do. And we do it in-house. So if you need business cards, you need banners, and we need, like I was going to say, our special is the wide format, blueprints, banners, or even our canvases. And those are my favorite. They look like an oil painting. They're very, very nicely priced. You can get a big, giant one for about $30. And we've had some that have put the antique pictures up over their living room. So those are just special. I had a gentleman that came in and he had a beautiful picture that he had on his phone of his family on the beach. Well, you can send that picture to us and we can transform that into a beautiful canvas picture, and we can frame it for you, or you can just get the plat and get a different type of frame that you want. So those are all the 10% off. Our shredding is also a big draw, and that is on special 50% off. You can come in and get a coupon for that will not expire. So come on in, see us. So print shop, don't order online. Come support your local peeps. We can do anything you want. If you need help designing your card, we can help you with that. Brochures. We even do books. And we have people that, want some books redone. And so we have the binding with the coil. We have the binding with the glue. But I love our UPS family. We laugh. We have a good time. People feel good coming in there. It's great customer service, but we just like to love on our people and help you accomplish whatever your goal is for that day.
And what are your hours over there?
You would ask me that.
Oh.
8 to...
All right, when are you over there?
No, I'm there 10 to 4 Monday through Friday and some Sundays. We're open 7 days a week, so it's 8 to 6:30 Monday through Friday. 9 to 5, I believe, on Saturday, and 12 to 5 on Sunday.
Okay, excellent.
So there's, if you need something done. Now, the print shop is not, open Monday on the weekend for special printing, because we do invitations and wedding invitation, baby shower. We do the big foam boards, like you see the big, if you need yard signs, posters, something beautiful for a wedding. We do all of that, but those are special orders, so we want you to come in and put that order in, allow us a few days to get that ready for you. Okay. We can do simple printing things on the weekend, but your special orders would need to come in through Monday through Friday.
Okay, very good. And then also one other thing I wanted to let you guys know about, because I know you were talking about, having a support system and, being there for each other, which I love that a lot of people are doing that, especially my classes, lots of new relationships. But you know what? Maybe you can't get out, and if you're over 60, there is actually a Tennessee Hope line. And I don't know if you guys know about this, but they have positive, encouraging listeners.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yes, that you can call. So like I am blessed that I have 3 sisters that I can call. So I just start down the list, and
you have a lot of friends you can call too.
I have a few, yeah. I love y'all. But anyways, if you are looking for someone to talk to and you're over the age 60, you can call between the hours of 10 and 4, Monday through Friday. That's Eastern time. The number is 844-600-8262. So again, it's 844-600-8262. And this is something that, it's a partnership actually with the governor of Tennessee.
and then also some other faith-based groups within Tennessee. So it's just cool. It says Tennessee Hope Line. Are you lonely? Are you over 60? You can call and just talk with somebody that can encourage you. And that's real important, guys.
Really neat.
And also just be that person too. I was reading a testimony this morning of somebody who had spoken recently at Epiphany's CR recovery group. And he actually had, and I'm trying to see if he can come on the show, but he had, he was all ready to call it quits basically on life. And I think it was his brother maybe who called him. And at the end of the conversation just said, are you okay?
Yeah, you should sense, right? The Holy
And
Ghost.
just something like that opened the door. And he ended up getting the help he needed.
Amen.
And now he's, happily married. He had children. He still has children, but he's alive, because of 2 words that someone spoke, that someone just asked. So guys, you don't know when you're walking around, you don't know what people have gone through. A lot of those people may have just lost somebody. I remember shortly after my mother died, actually it was like 2 months after. And I was in the market and I walked by the apple slices, which was something she really loved, especially later in life. And I lost it in the market. I had to stop and just cry.
Yes.
So you don't know, guys, what people are going through. So be the light, be the encourager. Just, ask people, don't just, like, oh, how you doing?
And listen.
Listen. Don't just say how you doing because that's what we say. That's how we say hi. Just be like, how are you doing? Because I know you've had a lot on your plate.
I'm checking
exactly.
on you. There, people are some of the most ugly people that you run into sometimes that are being not nice and they're being impatient. Those are the ones sometimes that need you not to overreact, need you to smile, need you to just still encourage them because they're going through things. I remember being at a restaurant with my kids and there was a waitress and she was awful. I mean, she was really awful. But at that time, I said, ma'am, is everything okay? Is there anything we can pray with you about? Because I was teaching my children. And, I'm not going to cry here, but she started bawling and she sat down. But so you never know what people are going through. And, at UPS, I'm kind of known as giving the hugs out. I can walk in sometime and one of the owners will say, she'll give you a hug. She's, you need to give her a hug. I'm just like, okay. I kind of laugh. But the people are going through things like you said, but sometimes it's not just people that are being quiet and withdrawn. It's people that are they're just being nasty. They're being just ugly and whatnot, and they need Jesus. They need
And on
love.
the flip side too, there could be somebody that look like rock stars and that they look so happy and they're just hiding it all.
Yes, they're
So
hiding.
don't underestimate the power of a hug. Hugs do a lot.
Yes.
That's why Deborah is our favorite hugger in Robertson County.
And a smile, a hug. I try to, sometimes you want to go in the store and you don't want anybody to see you, not, it's like whatever. But I try to say, no, I'm God's ambassador in this earth. I need to make eye contact and smile and find something I can bless somebody with. And that doesn't mean you go hug everybody in the stores. Okay, you might get in trouble for that. But you would be surprised when say, oh my goodness, they do know I do that. That I like your suit, or I love your smile, or whatever it
If
is.
you see something that does stand out, really compliment them. They will remember
But
that.
be sincere.
Right.
You're not just trying to just say something.
Yeah, they have a white T-shirt on. I love your shirt.
Yeah,
No.
be sincere, and maybe it's just I've had people say, your attitude really helped me. They're getting a resume printed off, and I'd give them some, you really made my day because you made that person feel valuable enough to say, you're worthy to be hired, or I don't use those words, but you're giving people value. You're making them feel like they're important. And there are a lot of people that are alone and they're not quite as, outgoing as we are. And we be a friend, make a friend. You need a friend, make a friend, but some people that's just not comfortable for them. But you can help someone, offer them your shopping cart or just whatever.
And the more you do it, the more you will get comfortable doing it. It's what God wants us to do. We're not supposed to just stay home by ourselves and just not We're supposed to be his.
We're his ambassadors. He says, that's my tagline, blessed to be a blessing. I'm God's ambassador. So I remember that, and I have to, you know, kind of on purpose sometimes
Mhm.
decide, and some people say, if I go to Wally World, I know that there's going to be an appointment. Lord, show me who I'm supposed to talk to today.
Mhm.
Not me,
Right.
but I know people that say that because it really is. God orders our
Oh
steps.
yeah, Bernie's prayed with people in Walmart all the time.
I love it.
I do want to tell you about one other thing because this is the Go Show.
Yes, ma'am.
You know that I don't know if you got to attend that statement sale last time they were here, but it's a big, huge consignment sale where you can get really great prices, and it's going to be Wednesday, July 30th through Sunday, August 3rd, and it's going to be inside the building at Robertson County Fairgrounds.
Okay,
So
cool. No, I'd
4635
like to go
Highway
this time.
41. I did go last year. I actually sold some stuff, which was really cool because I needed to downsize on
We
clothing.
all do.
And then when you do sell stuff, you get like a pass to go like a day early and different little perks like that. But yeah, I found some great deals there. So I love to be able to repurpose things, and like it says most of their stuff is at 50 to 80% off retail prices. So they have clothes, shoes, purses, jewelry, accessories. And so it's called Statement, State, like state, but Mint, Mint. And so it's Statement, North Middle Tennessee. And I think that they still might have a couple spaces left for consignment people. I'm not sure. You'd have to go onto their Facebook site and take a look. But just something to put on your calendar because especially with, the new season coming, you're
Mhm.
going to, you might need
Replenish.
some, you might need some warm clothes, which is the last thing we want to think about right now. But anyways, we only have a few minutes left. I do want to leave time for a good prayer from Deborah
Okay.
because she is so good. She's such a great prayer warrior. But anyways, yeah, guys, remember, I am here all this week and all next week. I'm filling in for U-Turn Laverne. So I look forward to talking with most of you guys and
You're doing an amazing job. I've even got up early to listen to some of
oh
it.
my goodness. Well, thank you. If you guys have suggestions or comments, please put them in the show and then share the show. All right, Miss Deborah. We
Okay.
have 3 minutes left for a prayer, so you can use it all for prayer. You
All
can
right, let's do a
anything else.
recap. We have this Friday, this is a community around the courthouse, downtown Springfield at 8 o'clock. It'll only be 30 minutes. Come add your supply. We're going to go over our Constitution, our resolution, and we'll have prayer and praise. And so please come, bring your friends, bring your church, 8 o'clock this Friday, July 18th. Also, I have an open free meeting August 9th. Please mark the date there, and that's a Saturday from 11 to 4. It is a wellness meeting. It's going to be fun, and I promise it will not be boring.
Location?
That one is at 805 Memorial Boulevard. That is at Purpose Life Church in the Fellowship. Off on the side. Yes, I forgot to do that a minute ago. So that's going to be held at the Purpose Life Church in the Fellowship, which is off the side.
Do they need to register for that?
If they would register, that would help because we're going to try to have the finger foods because it's 11 to 4. Like they were thinking, oh, they need to eat beforehand and eat afterward. No, people like to eat.
Yeah.
So we'll have samples and, of some of the pollen bursts that you hear us talking about and rebound and some of the other things. And it's going to be fun. And we'll have the free health evaluation and the Zyto test there as well. That
So do they register by going to your Facebook page?
please, yeah. And I'll Deborah Grant, I'll put up an invite thing as well today, later on today.
Okay, and Deborah Grant's Facebook page, she has a beautiful picture of a flag with this cross shining
Yes,
through it.
I'm going to put my Bible one back up there, but that's what's up there from
Okay,
4th of
So we
July.
can find you, Deborah Grant,
Mhm.
Debra. All right, go ahead.
Perfect. So we've had those recaps, and Lee Marie, Well on the Square, has some classes coming up, and so I know there's one that's teaching you on speaking well, so you have victorious things in your life, and another one on if you're going through things and you need some encouragement. And I know she's a nurse or a psychologist or something there. These are free classes. And then you have your line dancing, you have your stretch class, and I'll try to do a health class, and we'll touch either women's issues or weight loss. Was there another class? I think there was one more. Oh,
Total of 5.
Something with sewing and mending. I know
Yes.
Roxanne would be a great one to teach that one. But anyway, Rexanne. Anyway, all righty. So anything else we want to?
Oh, we'll just close with a prayer.
All right. Well, dear Heavenly Father, Lord, I just thank you for giving us this time to come before you in your presence, Lord, and to spread your word and to spread your love to Robertson County. I thank you for this show, WSGI 1100 and the Go Show, and I thank you for my beautiful friend Lee Marie and her sidekick Linda over here. Lord, it's such a blessing that you have brought together in unity to provide, Father God, what you have for this time in this season, Lord, in our lives. I thank you that it's been a blessing to the hearer today. And I just thank you again, Father God, for walking with us, ordering our steps. And your word says that you'll show us things to come. And I just thank you for that right now, Lord, and for opening doors of favor and blessing us that we might be a blessing and outpour to others, Lord. In your precious name, Lord Jesus, amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, Deborah, for coming on. It's been
Thank
way
you for
too
having
long.
me.
We're going to have you on a regular basis. We will see you
I
guys
love you.
all, Friday over at
Yes.
the historic courthouse stairs. Make sure you show up at 8 a.m. And then again, today is Wednesday, so that means there's a lot of midweeks going on tonight, guys.
Yes.
If you're not going to one, find one. There's so many,
Yes.
South
Be
Haven.
encouraged.
Yes, be encouraged. South Haven does a journey to recovery on Thursday nights, and it's an all ages because they have things for all different, people. So get on out to any midweek tonight and just get filled. And also tomorrow morning, don't forget, Good Morning Robertson County. That is at 7:30 at the Springfield City Hall. It's free admission, no RSVP needed. I hope you guys will check that out. And I think that's it. We covered a lot
right, woohoo.
today. We did. Thank you so much for coming in, Deborah. Thank you, Linda, for helping out. And thank you, Ryan Martin, for being our guest, and Brother T. So you can hear all of that on this one broadcast. So go ahead and share this. We love you all. Make it a great day. God bless. You've been listening to 1100 WSGI.